What's up guys, welcome back to Destiny Updates. I thought the new Destiny live action trailer, The Law of the Jungle, was absolutely awesome, so I'm super excited to do this in-depth analysis or breakdown of it. Real quick before we start though, I just wanted to mention that this obviously is a live action CGI trailer, so every little detail may not be 100% accurate. There's still loads of general stuff to go over though, which I think does accurately reflect the game, so let's get right into it. Now to start off, the trailer obviously shows your standard 3-class squad venturing the moon. We've got the Titan, the Warlock, and of course the Hunter, which the trailer has a strong focus on. Then we have the live action scene featuring the pretty well known actor Giancarlo Esposito, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, probably not, who plays a father reading the second Jungle Book to his son. Now we can see a number of things in this scene. Outside the window behind him we can see the last city lit up for the night. A bit closer in, we can see a spaceship flying past. It's hard to tell how far away that ship is, so we can't really judge its size, but it seems like it might be fairly large to me. And then off in the distance, of course, we have the Traveler. Then there's the model spaceship on the boy's windowsill. It looks like a model of one of the player-owned ships we've seen before. There's also something else on the sill next to it, which looks rather odd, but I honestly have no idea what it is. Perhaps nothing, but who knows, it might be related to something in the game somehow. Also behind him on the right side, you can see the spaceship poster which you can purchase on the Bungie store, so that's kinda cool. Now onto the next scene. Here we can see a nice clear view of the Guardians. All three of them are looking pretty badass with their custom armor and weapons. An interesting thing here though is that there seems to be wind on the moon. You can see the Hunter's hood being blown around and dust behind him. So that would imply that a lot has changed on the moon. It was perhaps terraformed and colonized, and now it has an atmosphere. Anyways, the Hunter then raises his sniper and scopes in, revealing a mid-sized pack of the Fallen with a couple of spider tanks, all led of course by their captain. Switching over to combat, we see the squad facing off against a considerable force, working as a pack to keep them at bay, obviously signifying the importance of teamwork in Destiny, which actually the entire trailer puts a lot of emphasis on. We also see the spider tanks behind them, which for the first time gives us an idea of the scale for the vehicle. You can see that compared to the Guardians, they're quite a formidable vehicle. And we even get to see the spider tank move its legs, which is pretty epic as well. I hope we can drive the vehicle in Destiny. It'll be really interesting to see how it controls if we can, because it's basically a big walker really. Then we have the Fallen Captain who lunges at the Hunter with his dual energy blades, only to get a sharp smack with the butt of his sniper rifle. Now I think this is really a given, but I would say that probably confirms melee combat in Destiny. My question is, will we be able to use the Captain's swords? I certainly hope so, those blades look super cool. Next we have the Warlock using his mystical powers, definitely looking pretty damn awesome. Switching scenes, we can see the squad riding their pikes, chasing down a Fallen who must be trying to escape on his own pike. So we can see an example of the pike's weapons as the Guardians shoot at the Fallen's vehicle. And then here the Fallen is shooting back with his sidearm while driving. That might mean that the AI will be able to use their handguns while driving. Whether that would apply to us players as well, I don't know. Here we can see the three Guardians line up while driving their pikes. Nothing to really glean from this, but damn does that look awesome. Now, the last thing here before we move on, this does seem to show a high Fallen presence on the moon, so I would expect to run into them there in-game. Onto the next scene, the squad is now on Mars, facing off against an impressive line of Cabal forces. We can also see some ruins in the background. These look like they could be part of the buried city we've seen in concept art. As the squad begins to fire at the Cabal, we can see just how thick their armor and shields really are, with standard bullets doing pretty much nothing. Then the Hunter pulls out his sidearm, a formidable looking revolver. Which real quick, I don't know if this means anything, but he actually grabs it with his left hand. That seems like it could potentially indicate that you can customize whether your character is right or left-handed. But then again, he was using his right hand on the assault rifle before, so I don't know, maybe it's nothing. But it still seems pretty interesting. Anyways, he proceeds to shoot all of the Cabal one by one. Now that revolver is obviously some sort of specialized weapon, as it just instantly vaporizes the Cabal with one hit. And then when he drops out the spent cartridge of ammo, we can see some electricity coursing off of it, so I imagine that has something to do with what makes it so powerful. Now that seems to me like a good indication that each of the classes will have access to certain weapons and abilities, like that revolver, which are more effective at dealing with certain targets, which would also increase the importance of playing with a well-rounded squad using different classes and weapons. Now, Bungie has said you can play solo if you want to. It's just more fun with friends, and that's what it's built around. So I think in a scenario like that, if you were playing solo and you weren't the right class with the right weapon, you might have to deal with the Cabal more slowly and tediously, but if you've got a squad like them with the right equipment, you can just blast right through. Now again, that's just my speculation. Moving on, this scene has a lot happening. So first up, we've got this monster here. We've seen him before at GDC, but in a really rough, unfinished model form. This is most likely the Centurion class Cabal, since the Centurion is known to be more powerful than the Legionnaires, which must be the other Cabal class they just killed. Now his size is just insane. Back in Halo, we thought the hunters were big. Look at this guy. I mean, he looks like he could crush your skull by flicking you. And that gun of his looks more like an artillery cannon than a rifle. I imagine they're going to be a pretty powerful boss type enemy that you don't encounter too often. Now the next big thing here is the dropships behind him on both sides. You can see the one on the left is actually dropping off a few Cabal, which gives you a good idea of the size of these dropships. So they're obviously quite large, and I mean, anything having to do with the Cabal is gonna be pretty big. Just look at them, they're huge. Going back to the Guardians, they all prep for the fight. You can once again see the electricity coursing around the Hunter's handgun. The Titan just reloads his gun like a total badass. And of course the Warlock charging up his magical powers. They're all looking pretty damn awesome, ready to take on that Centurion. Back to the live action, it's pretty much the same as before, except that ship is now much further away, presumably heading out on a mission somewhere. Now that's it for the trailer. The only other thing is at the end here it says, Worldwide Gameplay Reveal, PlayStation E3 Press Conference, June 10th, 2013. And it also has the PlayStation 4 logo below. Now it's awesome to know that we're going to get a real look at the gameplay on the 10th at E3, and maybe they'd even have a demo there for journalists to try, although I don't know, maybe it's too early for that. But this also concerns me a little bit. Why would they reveal it at the PlayStation conference and not just the Activision one? And why put the PlayStation 4 logo on there like that? I can't help but get this crappy feeling that they may be favoring the PS4 a bit. And just to be clear, I'm absolutely not hating on the PS4 or anything of the sort. I think the PS4 looks good. I just don't want Destiny to favor one console over another no matter what console it is. If they want to establish Destiny as a truly multi-platform game, then the last thing they should do is be giving special treatment and exclusive content to one console and not the other. And that doesn't really mean anything, nothing's confirmed yet. Perhaps there's a practical reason for revealing at the PS4 event. One thing I found interesting was the official E3 website says E3 is June 11th to the 13th. And this says the PlayStation conference will be on the 10th. So perhaps the day before is like a pre-show and Sony got the slot for that day? I suppose that could potentially be why they chose to reveal with the PlayStation. Maybe they wanted an earlier slot. So I don't really know, hopefully it's something practical like that and they aren't just picking favorites here. Anyways, that's everything I found in the Law of the Jungle trailer, along with my speculation. Honestly, I put a crapload of work into this one, so if you enjoyed, leaving a like would really mean a lot. It makes a big difference and really helps get the news and my channel out there more, and it also shows that you appreciate the work I put into this. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you thought of everything, and if you noticed anything that I missed or think I was wrong about something, then definitely let me know. I still read every single comment, even if I don't have time to reply to all of them. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the latest Destiny news, and I'll see you in the next update.